Banter. What do you think there are more of in this world? Doors or wheels?
Wheels.
Why?
Because they always come in either a pair or a quad. It's never just one wheel.
Okay. What do y'all think?
I think wheels too, but more in the figurative where there may be doors, but everyone can't walk through them, and they limit the doors so people won't walk through them.
Ooh.
But everybody's going somewhere. We just don't know
deep.
where they're going.
We getting deep with it. Pause.
I think it's more wheels.
For real?
More wheels. Simply because it's, you know, anytime we think of wheels, it's not just one singular wheel. Like Blaze said, it's normally a bunch of wheels connected. So if you think about the inside of a watch, or you think about the inside of a car, which has doors, it's still way more wheels in a car.
There's way more doors in the car too.
No,
it's
way
not.
more
It's
wheels.
Way more wheels.
It's
I think it's doors.
Bro,
Okay, name
and
'em.
if you go
Name-
under
name-
the hood,
name the doors.
it's mad wheels.
When
It's
you go-
dumb wheels.
You
inside.
never. Well, when you get your car service, it depends on what you classify as a door. I'm gonna go with that, right? Because for me, a door is anything that you gotta open to let something in and out of.
Okay, so
Right?
So name the
got-
8 wheel. Name the 8
First,
doors.
if you
It's
have
8.
a 4-car door, a 4-door
That's 4.
car, that's 4.
Okay.
The back is a door.
Okay.
The hood is a door.
Okay.
In your engine, you got mad shit that you gotta open to let in different fluids and let out different.
Those-
I just
Boy, you're
said
Those are
open.
tops. Those are tops,
No,
man. That's not no
anything you
door.
gotta let something
That's
in
not
and
a
out of.
So
door.
you're talking about the cap on that pineapple juice in the refrigerator.
Is
It's
it
a
a
door. It's
Nah,
a door
get the
for the
fuck outta here.
pineapple juice.
So any entrance is a door.
Yes. Why wouldn't it be? If you could say everything in a watch is a wheel because
No,
it's
because
circular.
it's actually a wheel.
No, it's not. It's,
Yes,
it's a
it
gear.
is.
It's a gear. It's
Gears
called
are
a
wheels,
gear.
yo.
No, gears are circular that move like a wheel. It's not a wheel.
You just named this the shape of when whoever invented a wheel.
Come on.
A top.
Whoever invented a wheel.
Okay.
Do you think that the same method the same method to make the first wheel was not applied to the mechanics inside of a watch?
The circular.
You just
feeling.
now you
A
just named a circle.
and a wheel.
A
It's
top
two
is
different
more
things.
of a wheel.
Wait, but
A
if
top
you-
is
A
more
top
of
is
a
more of a
wheel
wheel than a
than
door.
a door. You just now said anything. You said a cap is that's more of a wheel than
That's
a damn
a door.
Okay,
It's not a door.
Okay.
Why isn't it? Why wouldn't it be considered a door if you could consider
'Cause
the inside of a watch, the gears
'Cause
of
it's
a
literally
watch?
Does a
wheels
door have?
Because
Does a
it- but
door?
wait,
Does it have a handle or a knob?
This is the knob.
How's the door?
That's the knob.
That's
How's
the
The
whole.
top.
You just took
The whole thing is the knob.
You just took
Jesus
the whole.
Christ.
Nah, y'all tripping. Cause then
No,
you might,
you're tripping.
Cause then you might as well say a washer.
You really bugging.
You might as well just say a washer is a wheel.
Yeah.
It's not a wheel.
It's more of a. I'm not considering. I wouldn't categorize it. I wouldn't like be like, yo, this is definitely a wheel within an argument. But on the contrary, if I like put it like this, when kids are first learning what wheels are, and they show examples of wheels on a test, a washer might be there. Like name some circles
So it
all
might
the
be,
wheels.
and so it might be a button.
It doesn't go in
button?
a circular
Yo,
motion.
they would. Yo, I think it's unfair to categorize anything that is a circle as a wheel.
And with a hole in it. A hole is not just that it's a wheel, but when you
Attach
All
the
wheels
axle.
don't have holes.
no, but the thing you can do with it.
You just did it with this. Didn't it move?
No,
You
it's a circle.
And beyond that, do you think there's more houses, apartment buildings, everything than there are cars? More places to live than cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then there's more doors.
But then you got wheels in your house. What are you talking about?
Bullshit! Now, get the
talking about? You have wheels in your house.
What wheels? Okay, on the chair.
Okay, so you got wheels on the chair. You don't have
Refrigerator door. Everything. Every time you name a wheel, I'm gonna name a door. Let's go.
Okay, how about your hamper and your stuff in your bathroom? The stuff.
Cabinet doors. Bathroom doors. Bedroom doors. Closet doors.
What if you understand?
Oh wait, closet doors have wheels on them.
Closet. It's still a fucking door,
It still has fucking wheels.
but it's a door.
You
Okay, then it cancels that out.
All right, okay.
It's more doors, yo.
How many toy cars your daughter got?
They all got doors on them.
They all got wheels too.
They all got doors on them too. So
They
It's
got
like
more wheels.
multiplied, though.
They got more.
Cancel.
How
It
many of them
cancels.
cars?
If there's four
How many of them?
wheels on a car, and
Wait,
there's four
hold on.
doors on a car.
All cars don't have 4 doors.
You're right. Some of them have. Actually, they do.
All cars have 4 doors.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they do. All cars don't have 4 entrance doors.
Fair.
Okay. All right. Now, you got gears. You got clocks. You got watches.
It's
that have
more doors,
wheels.
yo.
You
More
have
doors. Y'all know I'm.
you
right.
have shopping carts. You have baskets. You have so many baby strollers. You have so many other things that have wheels, yo. It's
If
mad
you live
wheels.
in a house, you got washer and dryer, doors, refrigerator, door,
Washer and dryers
Freezer.
also have gears.
door.
They also have wheels in there though.
Anytime you hear something like a motor,
Those are wheels.
those are
working.
wheels turning
Oh my
every
goodness.
single time. Like everything you named is multiple wheels inside all of them shits.
A
And there's
refrigerator.
multiple doors in them too.
Wheels in them shits.
It's wheels.
It's multiple doors. It's on the refrigerator. It's not just the two that opens.
Your
There's stuff
microwave?
in the back, the stuff underneath, so people can get to stuff.
Your
like,
microwave, multiple wheels.
multiple doors.
It's one door.
Where at?
In the front and in the back.
That's not a door. That's
Why
a panel.
Why isn't it a door? A panel isn't a door now. So I
It's
think
not.
I think it's totally unfair that y'all can categorize anything as a wheel, but I can't do it as a door.
It's a
Can I
circular.
define it?
Yeah,
Can
okay.
I define?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want me to define door first?
Sure.
Okay. So it's a noun, a hinged, sliding, or revolving barrier at the entrance to a building, room, or vehicle, or in the framework of a cupboard.
Okay.
So juice, that bottle,
Fair.
is considered not a door.
I
You
think
knew that from the rip.
Nope, I didn't. I thought it was a door.
The cap on the
However,
bottle is a
synonyms
door.
for doors could be gateways.
Gateways!
So
Garages.
the entrance. So there's a synonym. It could be a synonym for a door. Entrance, gateway. Yeah, hatchway. Okay. And the wheel, right?
Mhm.
Define the wheel. Okay, so the definition for wheel is a circular object that revolves on an axle and is
Told you,
fixed
I brought up the
below a
axle.
vehicle or other object to enable it to move easily over the ground. The second one is a machine or structure having a wheel as it is essential part.
Nope.
The second. Keep reading the second definition.
Go ahead. She can.
Okay, so it can be considered a steering wheel, a vessel propel or paddle wheel, a device with a revolving disc or drum used in various games.
A device with a revolving disc or
A
drum.
system or part of a system regarded as a relentless moving machine.
Oh, yeah.
You knew that.
Wait,
Greg.
the last
No,
thing.
I'm
it
still
says-
going with doors.
Wait.
It says a thing resembling a wheel in form or function in particular.
That's
cheese made
bullshit.
in the form of a disc.
That is complete and utter bull. More doors.
Okay.
More doors.
You're wrong.
You're wrong.
You're
Now
You're
what?
wrong. You're wrong.
Now, fuck that. More doors. All day. All day. If I close my laptop, door.
It got a wheel in it.
Wheels to allow that shit to is multiplied. It's
You
one
got
door.
one door. You need 1, 2,
But you need-
3, 4 wheels.
need multiple
you got one
wheels
right
to
here,
close
You got
that.
one right here. You got one right here. You got one right here. What are you talking about?
Doors,
Crack your
nigga.
shit open. I want you to crack your shit open and see what's inside this. I want you to crack the shit
Multiple
open from
wheels, Greg.
back here.
It takes
So would
how
a
many?
C- wait.
What's
So
more?
based on that definition,
More
would you
doors or
consider
more wheels?
a CD a wheel?
Yes, because
Bullshit.
it's connected to an axle. What is the CD spinning
You
on?
an axle. Shut up.
And then you have to put the CD on what? You put the CD on what? A wheel to turn this shit.
But,
That's
what,
what I'm
but
talking
how
about.
do you get that CD in there?
One door.
That is connected to wheels connected to the CD player.
One door. I got you. It's a lot of doors, but it's just one door. And then on top of that, it's a bunch of wheels inside the CD to get that one wheel to turn the
Okay.
CD.
Oh, so the gist of this conversation is that I'm right and y'all wrong.
I got you. I got you, man.
It's no more locked doors.
No more locked doors.
Good banter. We good. We all agree doors, right?
We all agree doors.
Oh, he said it, not me. Hello. Welcome to Just a Conversation with Greg, Mr. Rent Money, and Gigi. Welcome to Convo 65. Welcome to Convo 65. I am the person who speaks first, your person that speaks first, Greg. And I'm joined by my brother, Mr. Rent Money. Mr. Rent Money, how's it going, my good sir?
I'm great. I'm blessed. I'm highly favored. I'm having I would say a great day. The day is over, but I had a great day today. I feel good. I feel great.
Dope. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Also joined by our sister, Gigi. Gigi, how's it going?
Hi, everyone. I'm good. It was a great week.
What happened? How was your week? Tell us about it.
It was great.
Yo, there's really bad people talking at the end of this shit.
Yeah.
And we also joined by the guy that makes it sound good, Blaze, the mad genius. And you know, if you're looking for some quality audio, hit my brother up on Twitter at Blaze versus your mom. He hired him on some levels. He needs money. I need money too. Hook me up. How's everybody doing? Everybody, I mean, you said you had a good day.
For sure.
Great week. I guess leaves me. I would say, can I just tell y'all what happened today?
What happened today, Greg?
Listen, my daughter turns 4 tomorrow,
Okay.
right? Happy birthday, Ava.
Happy birthday, Ava.
But the thing that I didn't think about, because it got me excited, was we got to take shit to her school for her birthday, like cupcakes and
Okay. I understand.
party favors and all that shit. And I'm sitting there putting these party bags together, getting angry because I spent money on this shit. I don't even like these damn kids.
Mm-hmm.
But it did make me feel good that I was able to do that because I've never had that when I was a kid. So,
That's dope.
but it was dope and annoying at the same time, bittersweet kind of thing. But
Shout outs to you.
shout outs to Ava. She turns 4. 4 years has gone by.
Wow.
Oof. Right? 4.
That's a woman. She turned
No.
like 35.
No, absolutely not. She is a girl. She's still my baby girl. We ain't going to no woman. She never gonna be she gonna be a woman at some point.
She coerced me into believing that her dad told me that we were going to Chuck E. Cheese. And then got me in trouble because she said that I told her that we were going to Chuck E. Cheese.
Yo, she's smart. She real smart. So, jump into some topics. Who would like to start? Actually, let me start because, yeah, I'm gonna start. So, religion and cults. I want to start with. Let's break it down. Let's break it to some different questions. What do you think is the difference between the two? A religion, a traditional religion like Buddhism, Islam, Christianity, like those, like the major religions. What's the difference between that and someone who is in a cult?
Credibility.
Elaborate.
Not only does religion have a substantial amount more of people who subscribe to this lifestyle, but it's more credible. There are more along with the amount of people who subscribe to that lifestyle comes platforms that promote notable platforms on a larger scale, countries who subscribe to the lifestyle on a broader scale. Whereas a cult, anyone can wake up and decide to start one.
Now, I'm gonna come back to you on that because I'm gonna come back to you. How about you, Gigi? Do you think there's a difference? That's a better. Let me start with that.
I think the difference is slight. I think that a religion could be seen as a cult. I think that if you kind of separate them both, the only difference is that usually cults end up having a negative connotation on the idea of like you're not able to leave knowing that you can leave, or being able disconnected from people that you've known a part of this by leaving it. And when it comes to like religion, it's like you don't need to be in a church to pray. You don't need to be in a church to be a certain denomination, to believe in Christ. But when it comes to the cult, there's certain stipulations that you have to uphold in order to like be a part of it.
Okay. I want to preface my comments by saying I know what I believe in and who I believe in and what I do. But I want to come back to your comments about you said one of the differences that someone could just wake up and say this is a cult now. Someone did that with Christianity.
Yeah, but still the credibility.
Whose credibility?
Credibility meaning
Better question. Who provides the credit?
I don't want to. I specifically, I don't want to use Christianity as this example for me, because I don't want to look like I'm demonizing. So demonizing the.
I'm
religion.
definitely going to look like I'm demonizing it.
Okay, so maybe when you bring it back to you,
that's why I said I know what I believe.
But as for other religions, Buddhist or Muslim or any other religion for that matter, yes, it started out as a person saying this is what I believe, but the credibility comes along with, like I said, more people subscribing to that lifestyle, and along with the larger volume of people subscribing to that lifestyle comes large platforms who also subscribe to that.
So
lifestyle.
by your logic, if someone, let's say I was to start a cult for water people, only people who drink water, this is now a cult. If enough people join this cult, does it rise to the level of religion? Because by your logic,
by definition, if a certain, I don't know the exact number, if a certain amount of,
but there is a number for you.
No, not for me. There's literally a definition of how many people. How many people within
it doesn't mean it. If we all believe in something and we've decided like this is the deity that we want to, that's our religion. No one can tell us that is different. Now that religion can also be a cult at the same time, but we can create a whole religion right now, and as long as we believe it, no one can tell us different.
Well, that was what you said. You asked me. Asked me, and if you literally look it up, if I'm not mistaken, there's
no number.
That's what I'm saying. Like to make my point, to make my stance on this really clear, I think there's no difference between the two. I honestly believe religion and cults share the same principles. It's a faith-based thing. Whether like as a Christian you believe in Jesus Christ and God, or as a Buddhist you believe in whatever you believe in, that's the same thing that a cult does. They believe in something and they have principles to follow that belief. That's no different than where if you are only religion I can talk about is Christianity because I'm a Christian. But there is some branches of Christianity where you can't you can only pray to like Mary and not Jesus, right? That is a principle that certain people in Christianity follow. That's no different than if someone was in a cult and they say you can only do a certain thing. There's definitely is no difference in the two, but for some reason one is demonized. And
I don't see how it's not a number, because it's strength in numbers. If there wasn't strength in numbers, then the credibility comes along with numbers.
But the thing is, religion and cults are not logic. It's belief systems.
What specifically about what I'm saying about numbers? Credit without numbers, there is no credibility.
But the thing is, you create the credibility.
Even if you create it, if I could say right now whatever, I could just literally say whatever. But if I don't have the amount of people to back me creating the credibility, it's just me saying whatever.
I totally disagree. It's like how we just had the argument about doors and wheels. I believe there's more doors. Don't care what you say.
And the number of people, there was a number of people.
So because the majority says that there's more wheels, I'm supposed to just bow down?
You didn't, whether you bow down or not.
So what makes my belief more invalid than yours?
Because it was actual. It was
to
literally
you.
No, it wasn't just to me. The credibility, the amount of people who say, "Yo, we good," and it was enough credibility to put it in the dictionary for you to verify it by looking at words that said, "Yo, by this definition." It wasn't just by this definition. There was a number of people who subscribed to that definition and say, "Okay."
No,
we good
I
on this
understand
definition?
that. So what if I brought 4 more people who believe that there was more doors? Then what?
You could still you were debunked by the credibility.
Your logic says numbers. I have more numbers. Now.
How would you have more numbers?
If I bring 4 more people in here, now it is 5-3. Is it not?
How could you? It could be debunked by the credibility, which is backed by the numbers.
You're saying because the definition, we're all supposed to believe this now.
No, you don't have to believe anything. No matter what you see, I could see something in the dictionary and still not agree with it.
I think that's most of the dictionary for me.
But you just now, okay. I don't know.
Because
this could just go on.
No, because I'm not understanding what you're saying. At one point, you're saying that numbers dictate the credibility of the religion.
The numbers are the only reason why you have credibility is because of numbers.
So, and to that logic, I was saying about the whole doors and wheels thing. If enough people come in here right now and say there's doors, forget what the definitions say,
because the definition is credible. It's only credible because of numbers. So if you only bring 4 people, that means the fact that it's in a dictionary, that means it's literally millions, if not billions, of people who agree with the definition. I know even if you bring 4 people.
I know I'm gonna regret asking this question because I know your belief systems. But if you think about Christianity, right? And it's just a belief system. And because millions of people believe in Christianity, that's its credibility. Is that what you're saying? Or what?
It's deeper. It's deeper because I believe that Christianity is the true religion. It's not just walking around blindly believing. It's also with the belief coming along with the proof in the pudding. Wait, let me finish what I'm saying. Along with the belief comes fruit that was manifested from the belief. It's not just me believing in something that actually had no type of merit to it. Mm-hmm. My belief comes along with, this system that I've been following. Along with it comes actual proof that this belief actually does something.
I understand that, and I'm not questioning your beliefs. I'm not at all.
It's okay if you do.
I would never do that. That's not what I'm getting at. My thing is how you just said. Like I'm using your logic. How you just said that if because it's something that you believe, your beliefs gives it credibility for you. I believe that's what you're saying. If a person, let's go back to the water example. Someone who believes in water, I firmly believe that this water is doing something for me, to me, and that what gives it credibility. And then enough people start to believe the same thing that I believe. Why isn't their credibility
does
credible?
Something for me? Because when you believe that the water that you're drinking does something for you, which it does, no matter how many people say it doesn't, there's proof. There's actual proof that when you drink
now we get somewhere.
That when you drink the water, even if you woke up and didn't even have breakfast, if you just simply drink a glass of water, you will feel a difference. There will be versus if you don't. If you don't. So using that, what you're saying.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
So how do you think cults are created? Because it only works if people believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but along with the belief, what I said, you can't leave that out. Proof in the pudding.
But that's how cults work. Like, as long as they're able to provide you with proof on what they're saying to accommodate what they're saying, that's why you stay. That's why people don't leave. Because what they're saying, they see, they look and they say, oh, I'm like, well, that makes sense because this is what they're saying and this is what I'm seeing. Like, Scientology is a really great religion. It's not Catholicism, it's not baptism, it's literally its own religion in itself. And if you really think about it, y'all gonna find me. It could be a cult. And if you think about the idea of where the belief stemmed from, it's literally a book someone wrote, someone read it, was like, yo, this makes sense. And it was like, yo, Greg, read that. That makes sense to you? He said, yeah. All right, bring it to you. And you actually read it, you question me. But I explained to you how it makes sense. Now you believe it. I bring it to Blaze. Blaze bring it to his wife. Now I have this one book that literally is fiction. But now I've created this whole idea that is real. And because we found proof in it that we could correlate to our lives and how we're able to be great. Then they take a step further where now they start implementing things to have you immersed in it, where they give you tools that work for you to correlate with what they're saying in the book. Now there's no way for this to be a lie. I see this. And now even think about these children or teenagers that are now growing up that have no other knowledge except this.
Could you give me an example of a cult?
Scientology.
No, I didn't finish what I was saying. Could you give me an example of a cult that has something that was a principle that is used within the cult where it actually did something for the person's life?
Yes. So in Scientology, they have this thing. It's called auditing, where they have this thing. They attach it to you, and they tell you to talk about your life. Now, in this thing, it'll go up and down, and how they explain to you what it means. So once it goes straight, that means that you're okay. Now, at first, you're gonna question it, but at this point, if you start believing that this machine that I'm looking at actually correlates with how you're feeling and how you're going to be great, because now you're trying to achieve a different level. It also tells you that there's different levels to this. So there's even ways for you to be deeper into this cult religion, that now you see something that works. I now feel clear. I'm able to explain to someone my darkest thoughts or aspirations. They were able to let me talk it out, and now I'm in a better place. Thank you, Savior, or whatever this deity is. Yes, and then people will also believe it because they will also feel that this machine has provide them with some type of enlightenment. This person that's behind this machine is going to guide me to this place of enlightenment. This how now this group of people that had this belief that we want to help each other now is all there. Now it's collective. Now it's not 100 people. It's not 1,000. These are millions of people that believe that this machine, after finished going through this conversation, is going to fix your life in this capacity. And now you're going to move forth and you're going to be great.
Yeah.
And that is why I think it's all the same.
Right. What for me personally, everything that I could think about as far as pertaining to that, it sounds logical. What I believe in is I can't use
That's not logical.
my mind. I can't use my trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding.
Amen.
Like whatever I think, whatever my human mind, which is so limited, is so limited. Whatever I can think or imagine is limited, which means I need to tap into a higher source. The fact that we're here having this podcast in this very apartment in 2019, I had absolutely no idea how I would be here. But I knew I would be here. I knew that literally that house right there, I knew I would be. I knew it was going to be a level up. I didn't know when. I did not know how, but I knew. So if somebody said, yo, how did you know? I just believed in what I believe in. The faith that I practice. I can't tell nobody else to do what they want to do, but what I practice, what I believe in, it works. That's a system that works for me, and it can. I believe it can work for anybody who chooses. Chooses to believe in that. But at the end of the day, if you don't want to accept it, then it's just a book with black ink in it.
You and I have the same belief system. We do. I was just pointing out that logically the similarities between a cult and a religion is, for me, the exact same thing. I'm not. Well, the main thing that I really want to get to is that I think humans are so arrogant to call something else a bad thing when the same exact thing that you call good is the same exact thing that you demonize. Meaning, cults, the word cult has a negative connotation to it. No?
Yes.
Right? But religion doesn't.
It does. All day it does. There's no
not more than a cult. Like a cult is just bad. It's like because some
say-
people say religion is good. You believe religion is good.
There are literal sermons that are based off of Christ versus religion. Religion has a negative. Even being a Christian has a negative, especially in 2022. It's child's play. It's a game. It's considered like, what are you doing? Believing in that?
I don't disagree with you. I know religion sometimes have a negative connotation, but the word sometimes makes it mean that sometimes that is also a good thing. You just said
culture
religion. You just said for you, your religion is good for you.
For me, I'm not. That's all I can speak to.
I know, but
when this matter of fact tone that I have is because of the proof that I can. It's not the proof that I have is not even just. It's not even just me freestyling. If I gave an exact verbatim details of why I believe, or I could say this is proof, anybody who doesn't believe it would just, to me, would just be blatantly ignoring. Just say, oh, it just so happened.
Of course.
Or it was a coincidence. But there's no coincidence in my situation what I believe.
Yeah.
And I don't believe that someone can pull up a time where I don't believe.
So-
I want to reiterate this. It's sad that I have to reiterate what I'm saying. That's literally what I'm saying from my lips. Obviously, it's from me, so I'm saying this. I don't believe that there is something that somebody could say from Scientology or any other religion, any other cult, in comparison to Christianity in its purest form. And I'm not talking about the games, the charade. I'm not talking about church dancing. I'm not talking about like all of the
Sorry,
like
church dancing
screaming
is hilarious.
and hollering and stuff like that. I'm talking about like from a spiritual standpoint, tapping in. If that's not even believed, it's really no conversation to have.
I want you to take it off of you.
Yeah, no, he confirmed it. Actually,
I could only talk about it from me.
Well, this is. I'm not questioning your belief system.
I'm not saying you are.
I know, and I'm trying for the sake of the conversation, try to take it off of you.
How can I?
I'm about to, because I'm saying what I'm getting at is that like take how you just said you knew you being here is not by your own power, right? You believe it was God,
right? In the name of Jesus.
In the name of Jesus. Someone in your position probably had the same experience, got to where they're at, like this right now, and said it was Beyonce. But that person is looked at as crazy because they said it's Beyonce.
I have no proof of that.
No, I know you don't.
That's the reason why I can only speak from my perspective. I can't. Right now, you just giving like a hypothetical situation.
No, let me finish. I'm saying the world, not you, not Gigi, not Blaze. The world deems the person who says I am a cultist as a negative thing versus the person who says I am a Christian or a Buddhist or a Muslim. Those things are more societally accepted than people in a cult. And I think it's unfair because they both have similar principles.
Didn't you just not say in the other example with wheels and doors when you say similar? Was something that you said?
No,
when you say similar.
When I was talking about the wheels and doors, I was just coming at you with you saying.
But when you say similar, that makes it.
No, I think they're the
totally
exact
different.
same. They're the exact same.
Can I read the definition for both of them?
Sure.
Religion, the belief in and worship of a superhuman controlling power, especially a personal god or gods. A particular system of faith and worship, pursuit or interest to which someone ascribes supreme importance.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Remember
religion.
That. So what's that last part? Supreme importance part?
Mm-hmm.
Can you read that last part again?
Yeah, pursuit or interest to which someone ascribes supreme importance.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's more definitions to it, but
of course there is.
Yeah.
There's always more, but I don't. Okay. A cult is a system of religious venerations and devotion directed towards a particular figure or object. A relatively small group of people having religious beliefs or practices regarded by others as strange or sinister. A misplaced or excessive admiration for a particular person or thing.
Relatively small.
Way to go, Webster.
Just to wrap it up, a relatively small. When you're talking about a cult, you're still talking about small.
And I think that is totally unfair.
I said that not just randomly saying it because I said from the start, numbers actually do make the difference.
I hear what you're saying. I totally disagree with that. I have to, because it's like if at some point there was only 4 Christians, at some point there was only 2 Muslims, and I get, so like Gigi said, it made sense to millions of people, and that's why they started to follow. Who knows? The person who worships, I don't know, a rock. Somebody can easily be like, you should worship this rock too. And they'll be like, you're right. I'm going to start worshiping this rock. And then more people. And then if there's millions of people worshiping this rock, now you got rockology.
But then you also think about the dynamics of Christianity. It has branches of its own. It's not like just
And some
one.
branches to me are cults. I ain't gonna
Yeah,
even
we
hold
can
you.
have, that's a totally different conversation. If we want to have it, like I don't
We got time.
believe all of like these denominations and whatnot that branch off from Christianity. It's not biblical. If you talking about if you holding up a Bible and say, all right, this is the reason why. This is the rules for my religion. This Bible is the rule for my religion. Just like the Quran is the rules for a person who's a Muslim religion. It says nothing about all of these different other books. If you go into these different denominations, they have extra books.
But some people use interpretations of the Bible to justify the different denominations, like Jews and Gentiles and all that stuff. Some people actually attribute that, saying that that's race. That doesn't necessarily mean denomination. Some people actually say that no, he means denominations. So I agree with what you're saying. I just think people use the Bible to make sense of whatever they want it to make sense of.
It's literally, but what I'm saying, even if someone tries to do that, there is literally a person who said, yo, I'm a Christian, but I want to, prime example, what's the guy's name? Lutheran. Luther, that's like another denomination. That was a guy who grew up as a Christian, and he said, you know what? I want to make my own tweaks. I want to do my own thing.
Yeah.
But still be considered a Christian. And I don't agree with that. And then I think people a lot of times just put all of the denominations of Christianity within one boat. When me personally, I don't believe they even should be a denomination. Like,
But they're all from one
Christian-
source.
a source, and once you say similar, it's different. If the source, why would I need, if I have the source, that don't even make sense to me. If I have the source, why would I even need some other thing? If this is the source, if I believe that this is the ultimate,
Yeah.
what would be the need of me, like
The way that I'm interpreting it to my people. If I'm the main person in my group of people, whether it's small or big, that has this source, and I'm able to remember, like, this is not a time where everyone can read.
interpretation is that's different from making a denomination.
No,
But
it's
that's
not.
where it starts
That's
from.
where it
Like,
comes from.
So if I'm the
Nah,
only person that, if none of you guys could read and everybody wants to have hope or something, and I'm telling you, I have this book that I'm telling you, like, we can build and be great off this book, you're going to want to listen to me.
It's a totally different book. I'm saying
No,
interpret.
Christianity comes from the Bible. All of the denominations come from the Bible, just their interpretation
Okay,
of
you
it.
said what you said, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying something totally different. What I'm saying is a person who is what's it called, a Lutheran.
Lutheran is
A Lutheran. There is a separate
that he created.
book, but interpretation would be NIV, King James version, this version, that version, because with the times have changed, the Bible is being interpreted with changing, with not changing. The source is staying the same, but the words that are used are changed. That's interpretation.
Okay, so
but
you're
to
thinking
make
of literal sense. He read the Bible and said, hey, that's the Bible. I need to tweak it a little bit, and then creates it from the Bible. So everything that he's getting is from the Bible.
Don't tweak it.
Wait, before I want to make sure we're correct about this. Lutheranism, they do follow the Bible, it's an interpretation. He read the Bible, and he interpreted it differently than everyone else.
And then look up.
He doesn't use a separate book.
Okay, well, whoever. There are denominations. I don't even want to even go into like semantics or whatever. There are denominations that have separate books.
Well,
totally separate books saying if you don't follow these in addition to the Bible, then it's wrong.
It's an add-on.
Yeah, it's like, yes, I'm pulling up this, but I think Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, Jehovah's. And what was it Pentecostal?
No, they just do the Bible. They just
What's the place where I work? What's that denomination?
Presbyterian.
Yes, they have another one.
No, they don't.
How much you want to bet on it?
I'll look at it right now.
When you look it up, you'll just have the face. Cause I just had this conversation with one of the members. There's a whole different book. There's a book. Look it up.
I am. Presbyterian.
Just to fill in the space of the time. Just look up Presbyterian book.
You talk about the Book of Order.
Right. It's not a Bible.
But it's not. It doesn't serve the same purpose as the Bible.
It's not supposed to. I never said that.
Every denomination has a like a charter.
Now you get. This is the exact point I'm talking about. Why do you need a denomination? Why do you need another book? If this is the source, like you just said, Gigi, if the Bible is the source, if I'm just trying to think of any example where something else is the source and you need verification from something else to add on to the source. No, if I have the source, what do I need something else for?
Let me state this. I agree. I don't think I think the whole denominational system is crazy to me. But the separate books that you're referring to is not verification. It's more about rules of how to use the Bible.
No. I can actually give you an exact rule in the Presbyterian rule book, which is what the Bible is, a book of rules.
Give me one.
One of them, if you are elder, you cannot leave the church.
And that
you're locked in.
Yeah, because that is something that they got from the Bible. It's all an interpretation.
You're telling me, no, it's not just interpretation. And how could you skip over the fact that there's a literally different interpretations of the Bible?
Can I give you an example? So, you know how Adam and Eve, people believe because God made Adam and Eve, you can't be gay and a Christian. Nowhere in the Bible it literally says
what?
That being gay, I don't want to.
If you don't want to, then you might look it up. You might want to look it up before you say it, because I feel like you're about to say something when you're jumping out the window.
Let me not jump out the window. Let me say this: I'm gonna rephrase my statement. How Adam and Eve was created, that only type of intimate love is man and women, right?
Intimate love meaning like.
Look,
I have an intimate relationship with my son.
No, you know what I mean. I'm talking about like marriage and all. I'm talking about like
right. The Bible speaks directly against that.
But my thing is, if love is love, this is where it's contradicting. If love is love, and that's what the Bible says, love is love. Who are we to
show me what verse that says
God
love
is love? Love is not love doesn't Love doesn't boast. Love doesn't envy. Like love is love. I'm saying people to say that
you said love is love. The Bible don't say love is love.
I'm paraphrasing. G. Mr. Rentmoney. I'm sorry. I'm paraphrasing. And no, the Bible says. I'll give you exactly what it says. Jesus is love. Love doesn't. what boast, love doesn't anger,
not
love
jealous.
love is kind, love is
What
like.
does that have to do with?
If you let me finish, I'm saying when people say that when homosexuality love is not love, that is contradicting. Who are we to say that love isn't love?
Based off a person's
But that
beliefs.
is still an interpretation of the Bible.
Huh?
Because the Bible, if the Bible is saying love is kind, love is this, love is that, who are we to say that a homosexual relationship, love, that these two people love each other,
Because
that is wrong?
Christianity is saying that it's
That
not.
is an interpretation.
Okay, I don't know.
I'm putting this all on me. For me, that is an interpretation because I know there's so many people that would disagree with that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, people
just,
would disagree with anything you can possibly think of.
I'm honestly just trying to go back to your point about like just the whole thing that the with the presbytery. In the presbytery, it says that an elder can't leave the church. That's because it is something that they have read in the Bible, interpreted as that, and made that a rule for their denomination.
I know. For their denomination.
And that's what I'm saying. Most rules that all these secondary books that other denominations have, it comes from the Bible. You're saying, from what I'm getting from what you're saying is that they everyone's second book is like you don't understand why everyone has this second book or this second charter thing to justify their different denomination or their denomination. That's what I'm getting from you.
If I just still don't no one still have anything to say about what I'm saying about the source. If I have the source, if we agree that the source can be interpreted with different versions of the Bible that are interpreted for the times that are current. Mm-hmm. Okay, no one say wherefore art thou anymore, so that's a different interpretation. Gotcha. Now we have different. I don't know, the versions change with the time. I don't know what new version has come out in 2022, but to say the Bible is the source and then I'm gonna make something that stems from the source, but the Bible is the actual source to get all of the information that you need, all of the answers are in the Bible. What would be the need of?
I agree with you.
Interpretation. Just like the way that the NIV and everything, like little words that have been changed for us to better read it, changes a whole sentence about certain things.
I based off of what you're saying, is based off of what you're saying and not actually looking into one of these interpreted or which joint joint are you referring to? Which denomination?
You just explained to me how the interpretations to you are the books that are the Bible, just different versions of them.
That's what they're for.
Yeah,
if I have a different denomination, if I literally I design a different denomination.
We're talking about Christianity.
Yeah, denominations. We're talking about Christianity, right? Yeah. I know, and I'm saying if I say I'm a Christian and then I make a different denomination and I'm gonna call an ace of spade is to bring attention toward a person.
For sure, I agree with that.
And using the source as a back door to bring attention toward, hello, me. This is what the rules that I've structured based off of the source. You should listen and follow me. Interpretation is totally different. You can it's interpreted as you're saying, but it's ultimately to bring attention because any of the denominations is headed by some person, another person from the source, the Bible, and then there's this other person who is like the head of this denomination, whatever denomination you could think of. It's some old white person with a beard or something like that, in a black and white picture or something.
But who wrote the Bible?
A bunch of different people who were ordered by the Spirit of God. And if you don't believe that, then it's a totally different. We can't have that conversation because man says yes, a man just sat down and wrote the Bible. I can't believe what a man wrote. But then if you're talking to a person who actually believes in Christianity, then they understand that God ordered the words that was saying. The man was just a vessel. Everybody, Christians believe that people, all of us, a host. Our flesh is just nothing more than a shell. I said this one time on a joint. Our flesh is nothing more than a shell. When you crack it, you see a peanut in the inside. Our bodies is equivalent to a peanut shell, and it's hosting the peanut. We talking about the peanut, the spirit. When I'm talking to you, when I'm looking in your eyes, I'm talking to your spirit. When I don't agree with a person, like for absolutely no reason, like if I'm just having an argument with a person or they just beefing with me for no reason, that's a spiritual type of thing going on. Why don't this person like me? I ain't even do nothing to them. It's spiritual. So if you talking about like what you seeing, this is our flesh. This is way more fake than the spiritual realm. So if you're talking about like some dude named Peter or John or Matthew wrote the Bible, that's gonna go over anybody who don't believe in the spiritual realm's head, because they just see the title Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. Oh, a dude wrote this. Some dude was just sitting in the corner of his room and just was freestyling. No. Christians believe that the Bible back then is the same stuff that's going on right now. And right now is the same stuff that was going on back then. That the Bible has every single answer. It covers all.
But that's all religions. That's why people follow it, because that's the concept that they get, is that
right,
there
and that's where we miss each other.
Well,
that's where we miss each other, because as I said before, I believe Christianity is when I say Christianity, I want to say in essence, Jesus Christ, God, in the name of Jesus Christ, meaning the concept of God being born through a human being and dying for all human beings.
And you are proving my point that who are you to say that Christianity is the right thing?
A person who actually had proof.
And I know that. And
that's all I could.
No, but all I'm saying.
What do you say to a Buddhist that has proof?
That's what I'm saying.
What do you say to?
I don't have nothing to say about them.
You do. You just said Christianity is the right one.
Yeah, I got something to say about my religion. I don't got nothing to say about
when you say
people could believe in cats and dogs. That they are their God. They could believe that all they want. I'm just a person. All I am like this.
How can you be open to the idea of conspiracies and how they've evolved in our world, but not understand how cults and religions are, one is bigger than the other, obviously, from what you are explaining, but still kind of come from a foundation where you have to believe it in order for it to even build momentum.
Well, if you're talking about conspiracy theories, I say conspiracy theories, but I don't just jump. You want to finish what I'm saying, or you gonna let me finish?
Go ahead.
When I say conspiracy theory on here, I'm usually saying something. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's backed up with real shit. I could really jump out the window with some wild conspiracy theory shit like. Come on now. But the point of me even bringing it up is because it can be backed with some type of real proof. So to compare it,
the reason why it's still a conspiracy theory because not the larger population doesn't agree with it.
What conspiracy theory then?
I'm just saying, just the term. I'm just saying the term conspiracy is called a conspiracy theory because most people don't believe it.
They don't even with
that's why it's called a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, I know. But the funny thing even about a conspiracy theory, the things that I brought to the table once were at one time weather control. Anything you can think of, all of these crazy, wacky things that I made look like I got walk around with a 10 foil hat. All of the shits are really backed up by y'all government. This is like, I don't know
You're missing us. That's not what we're saying. We're saying
what's not what you're saying.
We're saying the term conspiracy theory, the term, not the actual things, not weather control, not war, just the term conspiracy theory. The term became about because most people don't believe whatever the conspiracy theory is.
Even with the proof.
Even with the proof, yes. That's why it's still called a conspiracy theory.
I don't understand what the point. If you're talking about something that is still everything that's right here, I don't want to derail off of the topic, but everything that we even talk about here within the conspiracy theory section of the show is still considered a conspiracy theory.
Exactly.
But with proof.
It doesn't, it's still a conspiracy. But even with the proof, Mr. Rent Money, a lot of people still don't believe it. And people could be stupid. That's fair. I'm not saying that's not my point. My point is that who are we as humans to dictate to dictate someone's belief system is right or wrong?
I can't argue your beliefs.
But who is the
we do it all the time. You can't be a president in this country if you're not a Christian. Because we believe in this country that Christianity is the right religion. Who are we to say that?
I mean, but you're saying we. If you're talking about this conversation, I've only been speaking from my perspective.
I know, and
you've been telling me,
and we're trying to say, I need you to remove yourself because in order to have the conversation is being able to see a different outside of yourself. If we all speaking on our experiences, we're gonna sound just like you.
Yeah, there's no conversation.
There's no real conversation at that.
I agree wholeheartedly with you.
We still having a conversation
because we're trying to get you to see that there are similarities and why cults are so relevant still in this world. That people are still trying to cling on, even with the idea of Christianity or other religions, that they're still trying to find hope in other things and other deities. Yes, but it always comes from.
I don't think it's similarities. I think they're exactly the same.
But they all come from faith, a blinded sense of faith. There's no real proof. Accept your own personal beliefs that this can actually be a thing. And that's why there's religion and cults, because at the end of the day, cults end up ending because they start realizing that we're now a deity may end up actually being a person that we see, and we see their flaws in them. Or it could be that we round out that no one wants to drink the Kool-Aid because nobody really wants to die. Like, those are the reasons, that a lot of the reasons why cults end up, the time span for cults end. But then we also see these religions that expand based off of the belief that the foundation, even if you're thinking about the foundation itself as Christianity, all these religions have to grow from somewhere. I have to be able to know that I'm able to find these people that have this blind belief to understand that, hey, if you're not able to understand this book, I got this book that's going to break it down to you in like 5 easy steps. Be great, stay steady. And then they'll be like, you know what? I like that. I could do that every day. Matter of fact, I don't need to worry about this whole X amount of number of page books. These 5 things I have to do, and I just have to believe in it. And now I can see proof that in my life how it has benefited my life. How now I want to share it with Greg. Now I want to share it with you. And you believe it because you see my growth. You see the things that have changed in my life. And now we're all a part of this belief that has nothing to do with Christianity in itself, but stems from the idea that as a people, we believe in the unknown. We have faith that the Bible and those stories are real and how everything is interpreted. We believe that. And that's how cults end up being like so great, because we have to believe in something that we never seen or don't know, or the unexpected.
We was having a conversation from logic, and you were not.
I just can't.
When it comes
It's
to religion,
impossible.
I get that. I got it.
How could I talk about logic about speaking about somebody
It's just interesting.
who I can't even see? Like, I'm a look and sound. All I can do is speak from what it really is. A spiritual connection with God, believing in something that I don't even know is going. How could I even talk about it from a what's it called? A logistical
standpoint. Yeah.
standpoint. How can I? It doesn't even make sense.
I mean, I think it does for me because I definitely believe in God, and I honestly can see how cults have originated. I can even see why there's different branches of Christianity. I can see all of that. Just even looking at us as a world today, like we can be labeled the same exact thing, but need to be labeled as just a little thing specifically to attribute, like you said, me. It's about me and how I'm able to process this unknown faith that I'm supposed to believe in. It's not really about anybody else. So if I'm able to consume this way, the way that it makes sense to me, then that's the way that I'm going to believe, whether it's God, a deity, or whatever that I want to process it as. We could be talking about the same thing. It's just that I may have believed in it in a different way than you, but we may come to the same consensus.
Yeah, and yeah, it's like I believe there's no way I'm sitting here without Jesus through Christ. Like I'm a Christian. I know what I believe in. I just think it's for me it's just interesting to question religion. I think it's just one that gets people riled up for no reason. Just to put a logic stance on it. But yeah. What a topic. Oh, you want to go to yours, Mr. Rent Money?
Yeah, so I just recently stumbled across an AAU basketball game. It looked like it was actually an all-star basketball game. And I couldn't help but notice the kids were just pulling up, taking half-court shots. I'm not the biggest basketball fan. In fact, I don't watch basketball at all. Mm-hmm. But based off of the common knowledge of basketball, there is offense and defense. Yep. Within this AAU game, there were kids pulling up to the half-court line and taking three-point shots without the shots being contested. And this was done 3 times each. Mm-hmm. Both sides. And they were making them. I can't even take that away. They were making the crowd was going berserk. And I said to myself, yo, I believe Steph Curry's influence has skewered the fundamentals of basketball.
It didn't skewer it, just changed it.
Can you clarify for the audience what AAU is?
It's like the best players, best amateur players before going to college. Yeah,
Kids.
So like high school.
Yeah, 17
the
and
best
under.
high schoolers in the like world.
Okay.
Play
And middle
school.
school.
Like LeBron James's son is like a big deal within the
Because
AAU.
of his name, he's not that good though.
He is.
Yeah, he is.
He is that good.
He's ranked like he's not even a top 20 prospect right now.
But you gotta.
It's his name.
How
Let's
many-
be
So how many AAU students kids basketball
ESPN
players?
has AAU youth are usually ranked by the ESPN top 100 players in the country. Mm-hmm. LeBron James' son is like ranked like 40 something right now.
So you would say he's trash,
I
even
didn't-
if he was.
that is not my word.
40 something is pretty good.
I did not say he was trash.
That's what I'm
Of-
saying.
of
Like how
talent?
many?
You are mixing my words.
Okay.
I did not say he was
Not
trash.
he's not trash. Great.
I just
but
said
just
he's
wrapped
not
around
that
that.
great.
He's
40 out of how many? How many
He
kids?
is really good.
He's going to the league.
Of course he's going. He's LeBron James.
But let's not
son.
stray from. Let's not stray
Oh my
away
goodness.
from.
But you know, Michael Jordan's sons couldn't go to the
No,
league. and they
Michael
played-
Jordan's sons are trash. That's different.
Okay. So
But
just
Steph
that
Curry
we-
changing the league.
He definitely
What-
did.
What do you feel about that? And do you believe that will ever change?
Yes. One, I think it's a phase. Because there's always somebody that comes in and change the game. When Jordan came, it became more one-on-one basketball. You look for, and before him, it was more team oriented. Everyone gets involved. When Jordan came, it became more about the solo star. And then you go fast forward a couple of years, not even a couple of years, just fast forward to LeBron. LeBron made positionless basketball. He came in the league as a small forward, but handled the rock like a point guard, could defend centers, can defend power forwards. Now you got Steph Curry, who was pulling up from the parking lot. So now we got these little kids believing that if I know how to shoot, I can make it to the league. That's all I got to do. I don't need to play defense. Don't got to be athletic. Don't got to dunk. Only thing I got to do is have some good endurance and be able to shoot. I think it's dumb. I don't believe. I hate that style of basketball. Me personally, it's not fun to watch. And to answer your last question, yes, I think it will change because it continues. It continues to change. I think at some point we're gonna want people that can dunk on people all the time, and then all the kids are going to start to only want to dunk on people. Won't care about shooting.
I agree that it is a phase, but I also agree that it's a part of the evolution of the game of basketball. I believe that it's going to be more of a fixture of basketball because the game has been sped up. You feel me? Mm-hmm. The game has been sped up expeditionally. You feel me?
For sure.
So the 7 shots within 7 seconds are more common now.
Yeah. The problem is that everyone's trying to do it, and everyone ain't Steph Curry.
This is true.
So when it happens, that shit is bad.
So would you say that's actually a problem? Let's say a kid. We speaking about this actually last week. So I saw this guy who made a comment. He sounded like he was jumping out of the window to people within the comments, but I thought it actually made sense. He broke down how he believes you can make it to the pros not by simply, but by making 1,000 three-point shots a day up until the point of college or even before. He broke broke it down with numbers saying like, yo, if you can make 1,000 3-points a day, there's no coach who won't keep you in any game or any team.
I agree with that.
Facts. Because it's a skill. It's a viable skill.
So what I'm saying is, if there are kids out there that's practicing half court shots over and over and landing them and getting it to
I still think that it's a vetting process into getting into the league. The people who get into the league understand the total aspects of the game. You feel me?
But we're not talking about totality anymore.
So they're not gonna they're not getting into the league.
No, in the based off of what you said, that's contrary to what you said about Curry because he isn't totality. You said that he actually is a defensive liability.
He is a defensive liability, but
also, he's actually the star.
But shooting is not it's not his only attribute.
It's his largest attribute.
It is his biggest attribute. But he also can handle the ball. He also can get his players, his teammates involved.
But are there not mad players? A few players. Cal Korver.
Okay,
he could not dribble no damn ball. He set up the damn. Was Ray Allen that good of a ball handler?
No,
he sat there in the.
Ray Allen could also dunk. Ray Allen can also.
Well, Ray Allen got into the league. He was way more versatile.
Yeah,
it's toward the later end of his career. He was.
Yes, having a shot will definitely extend your playing career for sure. But just having a shot.
Well, there's no way you're gonna.
But that's the point that I'm trying.
But okay, I get what you're saying, but there's no possible way you're gonna be passionate about playing basketball and not pick up some other attributes.
That is my point. That's gonna separate
with conditioning, basketball conditioning.
That's what I'm talking about.
But this goes back to our conversation about like you honing in on your thing, right? So.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
It's not. I don't think so at all. The problem becomes when people think that's the only way.
Right.
And it's not. And just like to take it off of basketball, that's just in life in general. There's multiple ways to skin a cat. Right? So like you can for example, I want to work in film. I don't want to work in film. That's a lie. People who want to work in film, right? There's many different places to work in film. You could be a director, you could be an editor, you could be a good gaffer. Like, but what the problem that I think people have in general is that like they see one person has this much success doing this one thing and think that's the only way to do it. And it's not.
Well, numbers matter. If the numbers are on the board, and that was and you got to actually look at the clip. It's like the coach could have been pissed off, but after he made not 2, I think it was actually 4.
I'm pretty
4
sure,
times
I'm
each.
pretty sure he did.
But how mad could you be?
No, and
That's 9 total points.
So flip it. Flip it now. Imagine he just kept missing and kept doing it.
Of course, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But the point of this conversation is because he was making them. They both were making them.
But my thing is like, you could watch Steph Curry do his thing, right? And aspire to do what Steph Curry does. A prime example would be Trae Young. Trae Young wants to be like Steph Curry. He's nowhere near as good a shooter as Steph Curry. But he's going to continue to take those shots because he wants to be like Steph Curry. And for me, it's like, and then you go, when you talk about numbers, that's one clip out of millions of basketball clips.
For sure.
And then even if you want to talk about star power, Steph Curry is not the biggest star than LeBron James. LeBron James will shoot as well as he does.
You think he can shoot as well?
No, he doesn't. I'm saying he doesn't, but LeBron James is the biggest star than him.
Okay.
So my thing is, yes, if you want to hone in on a skill, do it. I'm not saying that is not what I'm getting at all. I think you should definitely hone in on the things that you want to do. My thing is don't villainize someone else for trying it a different way. And I think that's the problem that happens throughout the world, honestly. Going back to the whole Christianity thing again. That's literally what it is. It's like you can appreciate Steph Curry. You can appreciate his shot. You can appreciate Christianity. But it doesn't mean any other thing is wrong. I'm on my Buddhist. I'm on my Zen. We all are great people. No one is better than the other. Wow, nigga put a laughter. That's sad, because it's the truth. But, well.
Anywho.
It's all right. We spent mad time on that first topic. It's all right. We had a short one. Is it okay we move on? Go for it. What's your topic, Gigi?
Mine is about desire, and as the men in the room that have been in long-term relationships, I was very curious to know what desire means to you guys. And then I have a follow-up question, but I want to know what desire means to you.
To want something really bad. Really, really, really bad. In fact, just to give the blanket statement, to want something is actually an understatement. To desire something means it's something that you long for, something that you think about all of the time, constantly.
Let me expand and say,
consumes your mind.
and thank you, because that's exactly what desire is. I would agree with you. But what about being desired?
You are the thing that is.
Yes. So now, instead of you being like an object or a thing, you are
Person.
Yes.
That's longed for.
Same thing, just person.
I'm sorry, I'm kind of slow, but can you rephrase your question?
Yeah. What's the definition for you to feel desired? Like, because I initially said like, what is desire to you? But I realized that I want to put it subjectively. So what does feeling desired mean to you? I think that's better way to put it.
For me, it means to be respected. Meaning, this is gonna sound mad egotistical, but it's alright. Every decision you decide to make when we're together, you are thinking about me actively. If you're doing that, that means you have a desire for me to be in your life still. That's how I would.
And Mr. Remini, you want to stick with just wanting something really, really bad. Well, wanting that person really, really bad. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. So then my follow-up question then would be, As two men that I know that have been married, do you feel that being desired as a man changes when you're married or even in a long-term relationship? So it can be, you could be married. Obviously, I use that because you guys have been married, but also long-term relationships, I feel like that happens too. But do you think that happens? That, especially for men or even women, I think.
I'm sorry, could you say that?
Yes. Do you feel that being in a long-term relationship or being married, you start losing desire for your spouse?
Absolutely.
I guess it depends on who you're talking to, and depends on the circumstances.
Well, we're talking about you.
We talking about me?
Yeah.
Now we're putting it on you.
I thought we can't.
No,
Well,
when we wanted to,
when we wanted
you
to.
said no. This one is actually
In fact,
about
I
you.
thought I wanted to keep it from my perspective, or no?
No, yeah, your
We
perspective.
want you to keep it from your perspective.
Yeah, that's all I can do. That's what I was saying. Y'all was saying that we'd want you to take you out of this, but
Yeah, no, but what you were answering is the way that you were answering it. For me, it was just like, yo, I wanted it. That's how I would have took the answer for
I'm
religion
sorry,
and
I don't
occult.
understand what you get. I don't understand.
When we run it back, you'll understand. But you basically was just like, it depends, and you were going to actually go into other people's scenarios.
When?
When
Just
I asked
now.
you the question,
So
No, when
for you.
I honestly, when a lot of times when these things are said, images of real life shit that's happened in my life play out in my mind instantly. I honestly
me too.
wasn't thinking about anybody else in that given time. Maybe that's the way you interpreted it, but I was instantly think when I said it depends on the circumstance. I actually remember looking at the corner of that chair because I was kind of like daydreaming, thinking about that circumstance for me personally.
okay.
Right? And it was infidelity. It could be abuse.
Oh, I want to change my answer.
Wait, what's happening?
You just now told me to think about myself.
Yeah.
He was
In
giving
this
you reasons.
situation.
He was giving you reasons why undesired.
And those reasons were
Why
personal
your
for me.
spouse is no longer desirable to
Yeah.
you, or you are no
Right.
longer desirable to them, or vice versa, or both.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Both. Okay.
Both.
Okay, I'm back now.
Both.
And you said infidelity. And what else?
Abuse.
Abuse. Okay.
I would like to change my answer.
And what was your initial?
I think I'm a sucker for love. I will put that out there. I'm a hopeless romantic. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I know that. My thing is, so I preface this comment by saying, I think when you are, I think you can have undesirable situations, or you can have situations that make your spouse undesirable. But I also think you can get that desire back if the love is strong enough. Does that make sense?
Yes, to me
Okay.
it does too.
So it's like what you, Mr. Red Money, just said to me, in marriage counseling, they call those line crossers, right?
Oh, right.
Where it's like no point of return.
True.
And I have those for myself as well. So when those undesirable things creep up, then yes, it's over. I'm no longer desiring you because I feel like the respect is gone. For me, it's about respect. But I think, for me, it got to be big reasons for me to not want to desire you anymore. Like those are big reasons. I think petty stuff like you don't wash the dishes.
Right.
No,
I agree with you.
no, I don't think you could.
Okay, so what happens, and I'll just give a scenario, and it's okay if you guys don't feel comfortable with the scenario, but what happens when nothing is wrong? What happens is everything's right, and desire still kind of like depletes.
When's to say nothing is wrong is from a personal perspective.
I'm going to say that you're comfortable. You no longer, as a woman, I no longer really dress up because I know that you love me with the hair done or without the hair done.
I'm still
I don't
desiring
have to,
you.
But that's what I'm saying is that like there's no big things that are happening.
Yeah.
This is just time that has happened. Comfortability has set in. I guess you guys already. It's just the idea that sometimes nothing could be wrong, but time has happened.
For
And
sure.
you're waking up and you're seeing this person every day,
Actually,
and
not
not
for
saying
sure.
that you don't love them, right? But
There's always something. From somebody's perspective.
I agree.
When a person says, "Yo, she just left me for no reason," that was from that person's perspective, that guy's perspective, or vice versa. If a woman said, "He just left me for no reason," that's from that woman's perspective. But to someone, there was
A reason.
a reason.
Can I ask
Now,
you a
whether
question?
that reason was, valid for anyone else, it really doesn't matter, because the reason why is because
what if
it's
time is the reason?
why.
What if it's just time?
So can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you believe people can fall out of love?
Yeah.
And when you fall out of love, is that undesirable? Now you just don't desire that person anymore?
I
Or
think,
does desire and being in love two different things for you?
I think they can go hand in hand, but they can also be separate. I can desire someone but not be with them. I could want someone but not actually be able to have that relationship that I want with them.
Okay.
So it could definitely be separate, but I think that if I am with someone, I would want to desire the person that I'm with as well.
For sure.
And I would want them to desire me.
The thing about time, going back to what Mr. Rent Money said, something happened. Comfortability happened. That's something.
Okay.
So to say, I never was a fan or agree with the statement that like we broke up for no reason. There's a reason.
Yeah, but that's saying that it depends on who's saying it. Like Mr. Rent Money said,
Sure.
like it could be he already made a decision he didn't want to be. I didn't know that. I could have been like, "Here, we're gonna make this work. Tomorrow we're gonna go into therapy." He was done already, and now we're just waiting for the lease to be over. I don't know that yet.
Sorry. She said the least.
That'd be the only thing.
That's effed up.
That'd be the only reason. Okay, so now that we know, I know what your definition is. I understand that we've had conversations about what would be reasons why you would be undesirable. What would maintain or keep if you guys are in relationships or want to be in relationships or aspire to be in relationships at one day. In the event someone you felt that there was desire that was gone or missed, what would you need for that person to get it back? Like how would that woman be able to make you feel more desirable again?
Make me feel.
Yeah, if at this point let's use time. I don't want to use something like drastic because I feel like cheating or abuse, like those are really far-fetched for me to, first I need to trust you again for me to even get to that desire part. So let's just use like time has happened. We've been together for 20 plus years. And as a man, and I feel like I want to say women feel like this too, especially like through pregnancy, and I get that through time. But something that I wanted to pay attention to was men, was that there are moments and times where you guys, after a long relationship, I would think that in some situations, not all obviously, that you would feel undesirable. And in that moments where you felt undesirable, would there be anything that woman could do for you?
Yeah, be intentional.
To reaffirm you that you are desired, to let you know that I want you. What would that be for you?
They need to be intentional about their time with me. For me it will be like once you recognize that something is off, like you desire me less, even vice versa, there needs to be intentional time where we are trying to reconnect again. And after that intentional time to reconnect, it should just be like water after that.
And are you the person letting your woman know that, hey, babe, like I feel undesired by you? Are you
course.
having that conversation?
You have to. Nobody's a mind reader. I believe I sound like you got to have communication.
You do.
But yeah, nobody's a mind reader. Like you can't expect someone just to know that. But once it's said, I think it's up to even if they feel that they like what my words aren't true, even if that's how they feel, it's still how I feel. if you feel like you still desire me, then you would want to correct it. Does that make sense?
Yes, I feel like you're what I got from you, and this is what I'm hearing, is that if I tell you that I don't feel desired by you, and you know that you still want me, you should be cognizant to know that what do you need to do in order to make me feel that way. If you still desire me.
Because if I don't desire him, like, yeah, you right, bye.
Oof. And what about you, Mr. Rent Money? What would a woman need to do for you to feel desired?
I can't have any regurgitation of the wrongdoing, or, for example, transgression or something.
So if something happened, you don't want the bringing it back.
Should never be. In fact, for me, in my adult years, I've looked at this topic in particular differently than I did when I was younger. Like, me personally, I would leave because if I didn't feel like, my request or want to be desired is no longer present, then I'll just leave. Because it makes no sense. Because naturally I don't want what I've done to be brought up over and over.
Okay, but what does she need to do to make you feel desired?
Not bring it up.
All right, but I don't want to know what I don't need to do, because I'm not doing that.
I
want to know what I need to do, because at that point, if that's not what I'm doing,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Not bringing it up, not regurgitating it, being conscious of not reminding me of something that I've done wrong, says to me that's deep in itself for me. That is deep, because that's actually more common. It's very, very common for people to feel hurt, not just a woman and not just a man. It's very common to be hurt and bring it up over and over in specific times in a heated debate.
But how does that make you feel desired?
That would make me feel desired, because I understand that this is in the midst of you being hurt, you decided to put that to the side. And not only are you, and I'm saying, when I say not mentioning it, I'm not saying just not mentioning it or suppressing it. I'm saying totally.
But I'm not hurt. This is through time. We've been married for 20 years, and you realize that, like, the same way, like, I probably wanted to, like, touch on you or hump on you, or, like, I'm not doing those same things. It doesn't take away that I want you. It's just that idea that want for you, it's not automatic like you would feel it. Do you want to?
No, I just want to elaborate on what he's saying.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you're saying, like, if it is not a desirable act if you continue to bring up something that I've done wrong. Like, so
I hear what you're saying, but that's not the answering the question.
No, if I kind of think it is.
I believe is
because if that's not even happening, because in this situation you're saying that I've been telling you what you're doing for so long, and now I'm not telling you. I'm telling you that this is just about you being desired. Me not doing something doesn't mean I don't feel that way.
No, that was.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just saying, like, you can't desire somebody if you only bring up their faults. How are you possibly desiring me if the only thing you're doing is bringing up my faults?
But if just because I'm not saying it doesn't mean that's how I feel, right? So if just because I'm not,
but that's not where I stopped. I actually said, not only are you not saying it, but you're throwing it away. By you throwing it away, I can feel that this is no longer an issue for you, and that alone for me, of course, not for you, because you trying to prove why this is not a desirable.
I'm not trying to prove. I'm just.
You just said that this is not a desirable. This is not a reason why someone.
No, I'm saying that, like, for Greg, he said that what she would need to do to prove to him that he is intention. You're saying to stop doing something, and this is a scenario.
It's right? Not only just not doing something. I said
she lets it go.
Yeah, but that's I could not do something, and in the back of my mind, that's even worse. In the back of my mind, I'm still like, this motherfucker get on my nerves. It's like
So you're
I
saying
hate
based
this
off
nigga.
energy.
I'm saying I could feel that. If I could, especially if I could feel like, yo, we still season the day with one another. I'm not feeling the vibes is not saying that deep inside something is wrong. If I can definitely feel, not only are you saying not just not mentioning it, but it's like it's like it never even happened.
So it's the energy.
Right.
So it's shifting, and maybe that's what I'm trying to get at. Like, you're giving me a scenario how that plays. I'm saying that if that's not only the object, and it's what would she need to do? Because not doing anything, when I'm hearing, how is that going to prove to
something.
you?
I didn't say just not doing anything. You keep.
I know, I understand that, but what I got now from listening to your entire thing was her shift of energy is gonna let you know.
That's when you saying shift, that's a verb.
That's what I needed to hear. When I heard you say, hey, like, stop throwing things in my face, if I'm thinking of you as a man as desired, even as a woman, even if I tell you, like, hey, like, I'm not even worried about that, I'm not even bringing it up no more, we cool, I still wouldn't know how does that make you feel desired. I would just know that
I said it was deeper
issue.
than that. I said it was deeper. I repeated over and over that it's deeper than just not mentioning it. I also reiterate multiple times that along with you not mentioning it, your actions are showing that this is not a thing for you. Just
my question would be, what are those actions?
Of course, you may have your nights where it may come to your mind and you think about it. But the fact that somebody can take a hurt, something that was done to them, and totally throw that shit away into the sea, that is commendable, and that is also an action.
But what are those actions that she would now be doing to let you know that we are okay?
Are you saying forgiveness?
That's forgiveness. That's and yeah, literally in essence, what I was describing to you is true forgiveness. And the reason why I'm saying I'm concentrating on this and not just giving some other cliche response, because true forgiveness is actually the most, I would say one of the most hardest things to, I don't even think it's hard, actually. I think it's easier than what people make it out to be, but pride and how you feel personally about the shit is bigger than actually making a decision to just totally rid the action or the thing that the transgression that made you upset. Because we talking about love, if you really truly love and want, because you could love somebody and also love them from a distance, but I'm talking about if a person actually still wants to be with the person and you saying I want to make this shit work, you want to make this shit work, all right, we still go with each other. The fact that you can forgive, just that alone, I feel like that's a head start.
But you're saying that the something would need to have happened for you to become undesirable first.
Right.
And
right.
And you're saying like just time pass?
No, I'm saying that like based off because he said that something needs to happen. Like your definition is how you feel desired. His definition was something happens, abuse or what was the other thing? Abuse or
infidelity,
mm-hmm. Right? But I said, let's take a step back. Nothing happened. This is time. It's 20 years we've been together. And as a man, you don't feel desired.
But again, something did happen.
All right. And so what I'm asking is when you were explaining to me that not only has this person have thrown away whatever you have done or whatever discretions that you have done, and I'm forgiving you, there are actions that they are also doing to let you know that they have forgiven you.
I apologize if I'm veering away from the topic a little bit. I just think time. I don't think no amount of time will make someone undesirable. That's me personally.
I was giving a scenario, and
I
that's
know,
fine.
and I answered the
And you
scenario.
answered it, right? And I wanted him to better
fault.
understand where I was going, because you answered it the way that but there are, what you said was, there are actions that she's doing for you to know that she good. The energy has shifted. And my question to you was, what would be those actions?
Whatever for me.
Yes. Her not saying nothing for me. Yes, I get it if it's an action, if she was proactively doing it. But let's say that wasn't even it. What are those actions surrounding?
Things that were done before that had a damper put in them when whatever happened. And it put a halt in.
But is there anything specific? If it was any other woman, what would you need to feel desirable as a man? If there was somebody that you wanted and she wanted you too, but for some reason there's what would you need from her? With Greg, his was intentional time. It was know that the time that you want to spend with me is something that you actually want to do. It's not just on a whim. I'm being intentional with how I'm spending my time with you.
Oh, wanting to sit next to me,
okay,
touching my thigh, like that, shit like that.
Okay, being able to touch you, physical touch, will let you know that you're desirable again.
Hell yeah!
Thank you.
Because if it's, if that's what you wanted, but that's
not what I wanted. I wanted you to want it. It has nothing to do with me. This is not nothing to do with
because
me.
The whole time you was trying to prove that.
It's not about proving. I asked the question.
Let me finish what I'm saying, Gigi. Because over and over, no matter how many times I'm saying, yo, this is what I believe from my perspective it would be to feel desired. You saying no?
I needed more specifics. You said how you said sitting next to you, putting my leg on. You said not saying nothing about the past.
You want to
I haven't in this scenario I brought to you. There was no issues for 20 years. I haven't thrown nothing in your face for 20 years. You, as a man, have gone in the world and probably you're proactive, you're working, and you've seen that there's other women giving you attention. But for some reason, your woman at home is not giving you that same amount of attention that women outside are giving you. And you want to be like, well, what is it that I'm not? What? And maybe the woman doesn't even know. Maybe she's had a baby or two and she doesn't even feel desirable. But my question was, what did she need to do at that point in time to make you your mom? I want you. I don't want you to be with nobody else. But obviously you're coming home and you're feeling like, hey, I'm talking to Susie and them and we're having full-blown conversations. I get home with you and it's like, how was your day? It's dry. I don't want to talk about it. You know what?
That has been something that I've actually experienced.
Talk to me.
Okay. Like, to see an exact polar opposite experience at work with women who just see me at work, and then when I come home it's like I'm getting on your nerves.
Yes, like some people think that you're like amazing, but at home you're like, wait a minute.
And it's like a reiteration of what I already know about myself, what I already believe about myself, and I don't even not.
There's
and I'm not
questioning.
Exactly. I'm not questioning myself. I'm like, nah. I'm not perfect, but I'm an alright person.
Yes.
Like, so I shouldn't be coming home and feeling like I'm walking on eggshells.
Why? Like when I'm outside, people think I'm this most amazing person.
Right.
But then you also go to your spouse, you're like, and your spouse wants you. It's not saying that your spouse, it's different if you obviously are in a situation where your spouse doesn't want you and you're like, all right, that's not it. But your spouse is just like, I'm going through life too, and life is happening to both of us. What do you need me to do to make you feel like I want you?
Oh, specifically what I said. Hand on my thigh, talking to me.
Giving you physical touch, being able to be present in your day.
Yeah, and not feeling like I gotta walk on eggshells. I could just say whatever, just feeling like I'm talking to
and you're in a safe
my
space.
friend
in
high school or some shit. Not feeling like,
You're gonna be judged or
To anybody,
reprimanded.
to everybody that's listening, you can't see me, but I'm looking around like is the coast is clear. That type of vibe. I just want to feel like I can just be myself around who I signed up to be with. That type of thing.
I get that.
Thank you so much. I'm happy we got here. That's all. I just what I wanted to hear. But not saying that what you said was wrong because I understood that. But it was because of how Greg answered it. I wanted to have a snippet of what your
You was looking for tangible.
yes. What would you need? Because I feel like just as a community, especially as a black community, that when it does come to men, that when it comes to women, we're always cognizant of postpartum and understanding that things happen to women and we get depressed, our period happens and all these things, and where we've internalized like our undesirables and we kind of like project it. But I've never, it took me a time when I thought about this topic was when I sit here and I look at you guys and I'm just like, there are moments and times where men may feel undesirable and women are even more, not all, but more communicative when it comes to that moment where I'm like, this is where I'm at and this is how I'm feeling and this is what I need you to do. And I think that men, because they have been caretakers and always had to be upstanding and I don't even say understand because they don't really understand unless you actually break it down, but to always be kind of have that shell on that they're always going to be okay, even when they're not okay, that there's times where they're not okay.
And ladies, when we say we're not okay, listen.
Yeah. Because it doesn't happen a lot. I can honestly say that, and I think that even men that are not okay don't want to say that they're okay because they don't even know how to articulate why they're not okay.
Big facts.
I say I don't know. I've always been a gray area type of person when it comes to shit like this because I don't have no problem expressing myself. I don't care if it sound like for instance, you giggle when I said just touch my thigh or sit next to me, like that's actually common amongst dudes. I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of dudes who actually listen to that and be like,
I think most men want to feel desired physically.
I like telling my man he look good. I like just let him know that he's.
Let me speak about that. But sometimes when I know it's conscious, I'm like, bitch, is you plotting on me? Like, why is you
I want to be plotted on.
like, for me personally, when I start hearing shit too much, it sounds like it's scripted. Like, even when you said that, like, I like to keep telling my man, it's like, okay, do you really think these things, or are you saying these things because you understand what it does for me as a man?
You. Why you got a question?
No, I say and I can
Whether
understand,
it falls on me
I can
or not,
understand
I
what you're
still think
saying,
about
but for me, I speak my truth. Like if I'm laying in the bed and you're getting dressed for work and I think you look good, I'm gonna let you know that I like looking at you getting dressed. I think that to know that I'm a words of affirmation type of woman. I like to use my words. So if I'm able to express to you in any kind of way how I'm feeling or how you make me feel, I'm going to do that. That's just who I am. Many people are not like that, which I'm starting to understand every day. But I am a person that likes to use my words. And so but see, such as you, me probably telling you that you look good is different than me laying next to you or rubbing on your back, because what you need is that that physical seeing that I'm present with you. For me, is knowing that person understands that with or without you, here or without, like, you still look good. When you walk outside, you're gonna look good to me and to everyone else. And that's something that I like to let my man know, that he's great. And I feel like that's just something that if you desire someone initially, that's something that you should be able to let them know.
So can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Now this is for like both genders. What do you, when it comes to like desiring your spouse, do your spouse need to capitulate to your desirable needs? Or do you need to accept how they desire you?
I think it's a conversation because that's the problem. Is that if I desire you and you still don't feel desired, that doesn't help me make you feel desired. It's just like loving you.
Well, let me say this. So in Mr. Rent Money's example, he said, I'm going with your tangible stuff. Physical touch is how he feels desired.
Yeah, and I keep telling him that he look good. That's not gonna do nothing for him because he wants me to touch him.
So, but is it but his spouse believes that? Yeah, probably. Thank
exactly.
You. You're right.
Yeah.
Your prime example. You saying that I don't want to touch you, but I want to tell you look good. Is it up to Mr. Rent Money to be like,
absolutely,
I still feel desired? Or,
yes.
Oh, okay.
Because at this point, like the way that I want to feel desired is how I'm portraying it to you for the most part. That's what I know, right? That the way that I know that I want to, just the way that I want to be loved or how I want to love somebody. But if you realize like that's not working for you, you should absolutely say, "Hey, babe, so I don't know if because it wouldn't even be the idea of the person not desiring you. It's how you feel."
So my thing is like once he communicates that to you. Do you change how you desire
absolutely?
Him? Oh,
I adjust. I would have to adjust.
Okay.
Me. I would do a mixture of the two because at the same time,
you're not gonna change your essence.
Yeah, at the same time, knowing that he needs physical touch, but I know that I like to talk. I'm gonna do both. I'm gonna be able to make me feel because it's when we are responding to anyone, it's never about them. It's always about us and how we feel about them. So my initial response to you is always gonna be how I feel about you. But once I realize how you feel, how you want to be felt about you, now I'm more cognizant. Like, hey, this is what my partner needs. So now I'm gonna do a remix. We about to have a whole mixtape album, and it's about to be live. We about to get touch and talk. I'm about to rub on your dick and tell you how great you are at the same time. And now we both win. I'm able to feel like my man is being desired, and my man feels that I desire him.
I hope you keep that same energy.
I will. When my person finds me and I find you, we're going to have an amazing time.
I hope your person receives that energy. Word. Because Lord knows.
Be an amazing time person.
Lord knows.
I use headphones.
Would you would you capitulate to your spouse if they if you still desire them one way, but they don't feel desired the way that you desire them? And they say, I need you to, this is how I feel like you would desire me. Would you capitulate to them?
Well, if I have to, speak from a person who is, pivoting onto a different type of, who will soon be pivoting into a different spouse. You know what I'm saying? So before I actually go into this commitment, I've already conveyed that. Mm-hmm. She's already conveyed that to me. So I'm not going into nothing again without having a full understanding, a mutual understanding about what it is that gets your fire burning, and you have a understanding about what gets my fire burning. And I believe that that's part of the issue as well. Like, people are finding these basic necessities out, or trying to find them out later on down the line, when I believe they should already be sorted out, and you have an understanding about who it is that's sitting in front of you.
Sorry, please finish your thought.
No, I've already said a mouthful.
Okay. Do you believe that people change? Or evolve? Or evolve?
That's a bad word.
It's funny because it's like I hear conversations even about, I look at it like this. My grandmother is like 84 or something like that. And based off of the conversations from my great aunts from when she was like 4 years old.
Yeah, she the same person?
She's the same exact person. When I always like ask questions. Of course she's had different experiences. She's matured. Of course she's traveled. Of course, you know what I'm saying? She's made a living for herself. She's learned different attributes to take her to different levels in life. But at the core, that's the same person.
Okay. And
Like,
let's talk about you.
I still like, even when I have conversations with people about me, people be saying the same that, yo, G, you the same G.
So what turned you on in high school turned you on right now?
Nah,
Okay.
It's still like, again, it's what I'm saying. Maturity doesn't just because you mature, it doesn't mean the core. If I'm talking about a core, it's different.
I'm talking about evolution. I'm saying that, are you the same person that you were at 16 that you are right now?
I think your core can evolve.
Nah, I don't believe that. Like, anybody in general,
Let's look at Greg, his core, and like how he grew up, and just think about that dynamic. And,
That sounds like maturity. That just sounds like maturity.
Okay,
I can still see. Especially talking to me to Greg. I can still see Greg.
Yes,
like the same exact Greg from when. Yes,
but his wants and his aspirations are different.
I don't think that has anything to do.
It absolutely
with a person.
does.
To you. I said I don't.
You don't think that has to do with how you want to be wanted? You don't think that the way that you felt like you wanted to be wanted in high school is the same way that you want to be wanted right now?
For me, it's the same. It's always been the same exact thing.
Wow, that's okay. That's crazy.
I don't even know that's impressive.
If you're talking about, I'm not even looking for it to be impressive or anything, because it's literally when I look at people in general, or even myself, I could forget about people. Just that alone. Physical touch, just because that's not changed, just because it didn't go to something else, that's always been something that I like. I've always liked that. So because it didn't go into something else.
What I'm saying is that in physical touch, it could be different. Maybe at one point in time that you actually need somebody in your presence. Now you need somebody to suck your dick in order for you to feel desired. And when I say evolution, I meant like just the way that you were able to now have your son, and you're able to even have a level 04 to be able to have that conversation. Do you think that same mindset of the man is the same mindset of a high school student that will be able to have the same conversation with you?
In essence, no, I can't have the same conversation because it's something that I wouldn't even have fathomed or imagined that I would have experienced. So
experiences have changed your perspective.
No, it didn't change my perspective.
Okay.
In fact, in high school, or even I can even go further back. In essence, I've always been a person who, whether I'm surrounded by a bunch of people who are as hard as, hard as a rock, you know what I mean? Pause. Like, just a person, when I say hard as a rock, I mean like niggas who I'm not showing any type of emotion. I'm emotionless. I've always been a person who never cared about showing my emotions. So anything that I could talk about right now, as far as, in essence, as far as a relationship goes, about like how you just you giggled when I said something about just simply touching my thigh. I've always been aware that, the most guys or most people may be contrary to what I'm about to say, but I'm about to say. So, but what's actually said may change with my age, but the essence of my angle, the essence of where I'm coming from, that's always been me. It's certain things that never, core values, like I'm saying, for me, core values for me, there are a bunch of things I could think about that have never changed. There's the same exact thing.
I don't
and they are actually
my question. Because I think that the person that you were in your past relationship is not the person that you are now.
I didn't say that. I didn't say I am the same exact person from when I was 4 years old. I keep saying there are core there are core values that have never changed about me.
Okay.
I've never said, yo, this is the same exact me from when I was in the 7th
Then you
grade.
essentially agree with her statement.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Gigi.
That's because that's exactly what you're saying. I agree with you. There's certain things about you that has never changed and that probably will never change.
Yes.
Nobody's disagreeing with that.
That's why I had to change from change to evolve.
But how you say when you say similar, that means there's a difference. So when you say some, that means there are others things that changed. No?
Yeah, I'm talking about the core.
Okay.
The outer layers, I'm changing. I'm also not only am I.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about your core.
She's talking about the outer layers.
Yeah.
I thought we were asking me a question. I thought you were asked the question and you gave your answer. I thought you were asking the question in general, and I gave.
I asked you if you think that people evolve, and initially you said no.
No, you said change.
I fixed it. I said change, and then I said evolve because I realized what that word meant, and evolve was better. So you stopped listening and you just start answering. Okay.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. Okay. But what you said just correlates with what I said. So, yeah. Well.
Yeah. These are some topics today, people. Woo. We good with that one?
Yep.
Ready?
Yeah, no doubt. I'm Mr. Rent Money, and these are my conspiracy theories. Hey, what's up, guys? This is the section of the show where I, Mr. Rent Money, a part of Just a Conversation with Greg, Mr. Rent Money, and Gigi, share with you guys a conspiracy theory that I've highlighted throughout the week and chose to share with y'all. So this week's conspiracy theory, there is a document that is circulating around, and it's allegedly true. It's actually been debunked by credible sources, and this document is actually a court document that has all of the major record labels tied to the Epstein case. All of any major label you could think of.
Label executive or just
well, they have it lined up like, for example, Def Jam versus. So, you know, when you have like corporations, they're not gonna go after the person who wrote out the LLC or whatever way the business is structured. Yeah. So anybody from Beyonce to Jay-Z to Kanye West, anybody you could think of that's in pop culture is on this alleged court documentation. Mm-hmm. And I'm using my words.
Do you want me to use allegedly sometimes for you when you're talking?
Yeah, this is all alleged. I'm just going off for any potential relationships that may be we may get in the future. I would hope they won't be severed because this is all public knowledge. But there is, like as I said, I reiterate, there's a court document, and I actually want to pull it up. I have it right here. And I just think it's interesting. And I actually said it on another episode of the podcast where I believe that there may be a time where people who we love and adore within the music industry will go down for some of the same type of things as like R. Kelly. And my question is, if that day comes, what are we gonna no longer listen to music in general, because it's the energy that I'm talking about. There are multiple people, not multiple people, but there are multiple companies that are involved with an alleged case that has actually been dropped and debunked. As we all know, that if you have enough money, if you're wealthy enough, you can totally get rid of any reputable source from something, from many things. There are a lot of things that's been on Google that are no longer searchable. Or there are a lot of things that are on Google that are a lot harder to find, because there are people who pays whatever, I guess, Google to totally remove them from the platform and totally remove the information from any network, whoever they have to pay. Again, my question is, do you totally stop listening to, basically, in the event that all of these record labels, which is every single record label that is owns the masters to every single album within your catalog of music within your Apple Music account, in the event that this shit comes out true, do you just erase all of your music and listen to a bunch of indie artists who you know for a fact are not involved in any of these allegations?
I think the issue is that, like, knowing that these artists that I know now are now part of it, I don't think I would be able to trust music. So I think that I would probably just be in a space where whatever feels good to me at the moment, I would listen to. But at this point,
so would you continue to listen to, or not continue to listen to music?
I would.
I think it depends. It depends on the artist. There's some artists that I don't care if I don't listen to them again. And there's artists that I'm okay with. I don't know if I'm okay. I guess it would really just depend for me. But for the most part, I think once we start tapping into that arena, we're also just going into the idea of these indie artists, or any artist could also have these. They just haven't been caught yet. So at this point, then I shouldn't just be listening to music or anything, because this is just something that maybe have some proof to it. What happens to the artist that there's no proof to it now?
If you go by that logic, then you would do nothing in life.
You're not going to ever listen to anyone.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Everyone does something.
But what I'm saying is, the same people who would have that response don't have that response to somebody like R. Kelly. If you're talking about proof, if we talk R. Kelly, the only reason why people canceled R. Kelly was because of proof. You found out proof that he was actually doing the things that
there was proof
you
before.
didn't have.
There was proof before, and we still listen to him. We saw the tape, and we was doing stepping in lane. We were doing that.
But you specifically no longer listen to R. Kelly.
His money dried out, just like your Jew said, right? You see how with money, how like a case like that could have taken away or provided him with something. That case happened. It was on TV. We knew it happened. There was a tape circulating. But even after that happened, we still continue to listen to his music. It wasn't up until, if you even noticed, that his money wasn't right no more. That the support or the people that were supposed to support him at that point in time no longer exist. So now the veil has been relieved, and now we're no longer listening to his music. But at the same time, we knew about R. Kelly.
I never stopped. I never will stop.
Robert Kelly is a nasty man. But the world's greatest, I Believe I Can Fly, Step in the Name of, I still listen. If Space Jam came on right now, I'm singing I Believe I Can Fly at the top of my lungs.
Woo! Because right now, when it comes to the word pedophilia within not just the music industry, Hollywood, the industry, mad industries in general, like wherever you could think about corporate America, there is pedophilia. It's literally everywhere, but it's like a pick and choose type of game. And not only are people not listening to the music, they are getting pissed off
Well, that's
When
that's where the real conspiracy comes in, because the conspiracy in that is that it's like, what can you do for me now? It's like, I think R. Kelly, his well dried up. No one cared about it.
It's not even that. It's deeper than that. It's the idea that now there's songs associated to the abuse. There's songs that are associated to victims that we know now about.
But
we know that there's songs that we are listening to where we know that she was being victimized, and now we're listening to You Remind Me of My Jeep. It becomes the documentary that was put on him to kind of exploit more, not only just his music, but what the music represents, takes away from when I'm trying to listen to a song that I used to listen to, and now I'm worrying about the chick that was like,
I'm a firm believer, if R. Kelly was still a cash cow, they would have figured out a way to spin it.
I understand that.
And that's what I'm saying. His well dried up. He is irrelevant.
That's what I said.
No, because you said it's about, like, if you... Well, from what I heard, you were saying
That's
that
initially what I said. I said in the beginning, just like Mr. Rent Money said, with money, you're going to be great. Once he started not making money, the veil dropped. It didn't matter if we knew that he peed on him. Now everything else become exploited. But then remember, with this momentum, there's a whole documentary. Now I'm throwing a documentary on you.
No,
Two
documentaries. But I'm
documentaries
saying if he was, and we're saying the same thing. If even with that documentary that came out, even if R. Kelly. If R. Kelly was still R. Kelly of the early 2000s or late 90s, they would have figured out a way to say, yep, that happened, but this is still Robert, and we're going to let Robert rock.
Yes, that means that the label had to be behind him.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's what I'm saying. I think that's the real conspiracy. I think when you are a cash cow, when you can make me money, I'm going to let anything slide.
But then I also thought about the idea of social media. If we think about back in the day when everything was happening, the idea of social media wasn't as easy to access. Now, if someone was being exploited or someone's being abused or someone needs to get a word out, it's so much easier now to put that content out there than it was back in the day. Like, if I was looking for my daughter back in the day and R. Kelly had them, yes, I could tell the news may be able to play it. Now I could just post it onto my social media feed and it can get retweeted, it can get liked, it can be shared amongst so many people than before.
I disagree with that too, only because, especially in sports, Tyreek Hill, when he was coming out of college, it was videos of this man knocking women out. And it didn't matter because he was still drafted and he is one of the highest paid wide receivers in the league because he wins and he makes the Chiefs money.
Yes, but there's still people that know about him.
Mad people know about him. So
that's what I'm saying is that, like, in this day of social media, if he had the label, yes, he would still continue. But with the idea that people that would now know about him, no, he would definitely lose people that are listening to him. Will he have the money behind him? Of course. Does he have the fans behind him?
The question is, does it affect his career to the point, like, right now R. Kelly's done. Like, he's canceled. Would it have affected, even in the age of social media, would it have affected him to the point where he was irrelevant if he was still a cash cow? Because that's what it really comes down to. Of course, there's going to be a cult group of people that's like, fuck R. Kelly because he's a pedophile. But because I believe the industry machine is stronger than humans.
Yes, because they have, like, the Olivia Popes where they're able to spin narratives. But at the same time, we're also aware of, just like me and Mr. Rent Money was telling you about, things were happening outside the world before you, like, with the war, was that in other outlets, there are other ways that you're able to provide that information. So yes, on the main media, he's still the same person. He great. But on the outskirts where that information is actually being provided to the masses, there are going to be a collective amount of people that are going to be like, yo, he's doing some foul shit. I'm not fucking with him no more.
Yeah, it was sad that the only thing that's going to matter is the main media. Well, not going to. That's the only thing that still matters.
I agree.
So, yeah. Did we
conspiracy theory?
I think we debunked that conspiracy.
Wait, was that the conspiracy theory?
Was that the conspiracy theory?
Yeah, it was a conspiracy theory for sure.
Wait, but the idea was, would we still listen to the same music if we found out that our... Yes. But what if you found out Chris Brown and Drake? Think about Kanye.
Don't care.
You would... Oh, you still listen to them?
Me too. I
can separate the man from the music.
I'm listening. I listen to R. Kelly.
What happens when it's your child?
Oh, I'm definitely not listening.
That's different. completely
Okay.
deeper meaning.
All right, but at least, I mean, because it could have been
Oh,
like, fuck that.
there's a level. I mean, there's a stop point when it affects me for like if it happens, something happened to like anybody that I love.
Yeah.
Yeah, that nigga dead. And his art, all of it.
And the NFT.
And fuck the NFT.
All right, well,
All right.
let's go.
All right.
Made it this far, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you for being with us.
Why you taking my line, nigga?
I'm sorry. I thought we was like finishing each other's sentences.
Oh, my bad.
Like, I am.
I don't know.
Damn. That's
We want to say whatever you say I am.
I am whatever you say I am.
That's what I was gonna say, but then I was just like,
that would have been fine too.
Oh, but I didn't want you to say whatever I was. I didn't want you to be that. I didn't want you to give that much power.
Dang, I thought we were gonna finish each other's sentences,
whatever
Gigi.
you say I am. If I wasn't, then why would I say I am?
Who
Hot
made that
97
song?
won't even play my jam.
Who made that song?
See, he finished my sentence.
That's not how it's supposed to go, actually.
Who made that song?
Eminem.
Why don't you know that?
I don't. It just wasn't
I
connected.
am whatever you say I
Oh,
am.
yeah,
If
yeah.
I wasn't, then
Back
why
with
would I
this rap
say?
and this crack and this rap and this weed.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
Speed, the most meanest MC.
Yeah.
That's a good song.
He had a really nice flow in that one. He changed it up a few times.
All shit that works.
It's a good song.
Sells.
You like the flow. All right. New dialogue. New dialogue is just the time of the show where we have quick I'm not gonna say banter, but quick dialogue about something that we saw this past week that was interesting that we want to bring to the forefront of the podcast and share it with you guys. So, who would like to start?
All right, I'm gonna start, but this is not my new dialogue. But Baylor wanted me to tell you that. He wanted me to ask you. He begged. Well, I don't want to say he begged me.
Shout out to Baylor.
Shout outs to you, Baylor. But he was at Mr. Rent Money. We was in the elevator. I said, do you want me to ask him a question now? Or you want me to ask him on the pod? He said, ask him on the pod. So this is not my new dialogue, but it's a part of my new dialogue. And Baylor is the friend of the show. So he wants to know specifically, Mr. Rent Money, do you listen to West Coast rappers?
I only listen to West Coast rappers when they've already made it to like a
They're in the circuit, like they're...
right. But I don't oh, you know what?
Are you going to tell me someone? Because the next question is, who do you listen to?
Cool fucking kids. Not the traditional, because they're not the traditional West Coast sound. But I get what he's saying.
Yeah.
He's talking about like
West
that.
Coast.
You know that
You think about
like
Drake. You
maybe,
think West Coast, you think Drake.
All the time.
maybe like that with that G-funk type of influence with the bass synthy bass type of line. Is that what you talking about, Baylor?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to you, Baylor.
Hey, look, check it out. Hey,
not
check
from the
it
West
out. They
Coast?
not from the West Coast?
Oh,
shit.
that's disrespectful.
Midwest.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sorry,
not-
Baylor.
yeah,
I don't
sorry,
listen to
Baylor.
West
He
Coast.
did admit.
Oh, fuck it. Keep the sneak.
I
Keep
wish
the
y'all
sneak.
could
That's
see.
a name?
Keep the
can
sneak.
You, are you gonna look
You
him up?
fuck with?
'Cause I don't know how to spell
No,
that.
he from Oakland.
You from Oakland?
He from Oakland for
Okay.
sure. Keep the sneak. I fuck with Keep the sneak.
I listen to a lot of West Coast rap.
Good. You want to answer the question for Baylor too?
Yeah, but the thing is, West Coast rap has evolved. It's changed.
E40.
It's definitely...
E40. A lot of the old heads. Too Short.
Those are legacy acts. Like, of course, like they're going to continue that traditional West Coast sound. But you got like Baby Keem, you got Schoolboy, you got Kendrick. Like, they're West Coast rappers, but they don't have West Coast rappers.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
They don't
Yeah,
have that
I
sound.
wouldn't even mention
Y'all ever heard?
Schoolboy Q or.
But yeah, exactly. But those are like the West Coast rappers.
But
I
hey,
listen to.
Baylor, look, I like Schoolboy Q.
I do too. Collard greens.
Yo, he probably cringing like, yo, that's all y'all know. Like,
Hell no,
like, Purple.
No.
Yo, you know we
That's
sound
what
like,
we talk-
you know how
that's
when
song
white
with
people say,
Chicago
yeah, of
and
course
B-
I listen to
with Chicago BJ. That shit. Yo, no, Schoolboy. I I like Schoolboy on features more than anything.
No, but what I'm saying is, you know how, I'll give an example. You know how a lot of times white people, when they would say, yeah, I love hip hop, you can find me in the club, bottle full of club, like that type of thing.
If that's what we sound
I
like,
swear that's what
bad.
y'all say, collard greens. Like,
Baylor, my bad, bro. That's not what I've been talking
He gonna
about.
say that's racist.
yo, I swear that's what we
That's
sound
hilarious.
like. Listen, but I really
man.
don't. I don't.
Y'all ever heard of 211 from the West Coast?
Nah, I heard of 7-Eleven.
He's.
Hey, Baylor, you know
I
about
don't
Pac
even think
Div?
7-Eleven is at the West Coast.
Hey, Baylor, you know about Pac Div? Ask him if you know about Pac Div. They straight West Coast.
Pac
They
Div.
wear Chucks all through.
They were like Mark ass Buster.
They might even say a mark or two in they verses.
Baylor is listening. He like, yo, y'all racist.
Hey yo, Baylor, I fuck with Pac Div. I was actually just looking for some new Pac Div music the other day, but I'm trying to like the fact that I'm like really scratching the surface and trying hard to think about West Coast music. I would overall say no, I don't. So I don't want to be an oddball contrarian and say, yeah, I listen to West Coast music. So, because it's the same reason why I would say to a white person who says overall, yeah, yo, I listen to hip hop music. Sure, I do. And then they just mention the popular No, you don't listen to hip hop music.
Like, you're not putting on a YG B-side.
Got it.
Right. So, no, I don't listen to West Coast.
I mean, you know West Coast artists that you listen to, but you're not a West Coast listener.
I'm not.
That's what we say. Okay, that was Baylor wanting me. Shout outs to you, Baylor, because I probably wasn't gonna do it if it wasn't for you. So
I definitely.
BTG for president, y'all. That was a part of my new dialogue, so y'all can like kind of go around, and if I remember something, that's good.
Yeah, I could go next. My new dialogue is, it's not necessarily Kanye West, but I did watch Genius.
You finished all of them?
No, because somebody,
Me?
yes, you,
What?
said you wanted to watch it together, so I haven't watched
I
it.
never heard from you, and I was just like, I didn't know
Trash.
if we were supposed to see. Don't do that.
Okay.
Because the first time I was supposed to see the first episode, no, fuck that. I'm about to let the listeners know. When I asked you to see the first one with me, I said, hey, Greg, did you watch it yet? Yeah, I actually did.
Whatever. I saw a clip.
Suck.
I don't know which episode it's from, but the reporter asked Kanye. He said, "Did I think this is after this is it had to be after you won all the Grammys and stuff." I don't know what that meant.
The third one we gonna watch together.
Okay. They asked him, "Did you after you won all his Grammys?" He was like, "Did you see yourself? When you first started? Did you see yourself on stage winning all these Grammys?" And Kanye said, "I did. What you should be asking is the people who didn't see it." And I thought that was the dopest line ever. Yo, that's inspirational to me. So people, I'm pulling a Mr. Rent Money. Believe in yourself.
Shout out.
Even if niggas don't see your potential, but you see it, do that shit. And when that question is asked to you, respond the same way.
I want Greg to talk to me like that. Like
That
he
is,
talking to y'all,
yo, I watched that clip over and over again. Nigga said, I saw it. You should be asking the people who didn't see it. That's my new dialogue. I thought that shit was
I
dope.
thought that's amazing.
My new dialogue. I want to talk about the many layers of metaphors that are within rap music that get overlooked.
Like invite him in like a one a day?
I'm sorry?
Oh, yo, that one over your head.
Oh. Okay, I guess.
Sorry.
Yo, I think
I'll explain to you later.
I believe surface level metaphors are more common than double and triple entendres. Not only because people can't think of them, but because people don't get them.
Yeah, it's called lazy listeners.
Yeah, and because the average consumer of just music in general, but specifically I'm talking about metaphors, so I'm going to keep it to home base, home team. I'm talking about
hip hop, rap, within the culture, that is something that a lot of guys don't do. You know, like for instance, or for example, guys like Pusha T or Jay-Z, but I don't want to be the, go with the typical thing and just say Jay-Z, but
But I think he's the standard.
one of the standards for me. Like Pusha T, he does a really great job at yes, he makes it clear that he talks about drugs in his music, but the way he writes his lyrics for a surface level guy or gal, you would just listen to it and think, oh, he's just talking about drugs. But there's actually multiple layers to his delivery about drugs, which makes it multi-layered.
I agree.
But in the essence, he's talking about drugs. And I don't think that enough guys, and again, gals, do this.
Yeah, I think it's because it's just the age that we live in. I think one, you don't have you talk about a lyricist. You don't have lyricists. Lyricists aren't as mainstream and commercial as they were like when you were growing up. So when you still appreciate the Pusha T's, you still appreciate the Jay-Z's, or even just you appreciate when one of these new rappers come in and say something that's very profound, and it's like, damn, you got that kind of like level of intellect. And I think people are just lazy listeners in general. It's just like you want everything in your face.
But I don't think it's the artist's fault. I think it's the label's fault what's pushed to us. Because I think if we look for it, there's artists that we could find, like even the artists that you named from the West Coast. But I feel like for you to be able to tap into that, they had to give you something. So I know that there's something out there. I just think for the masses, what they realize is that works.
Can you do that again?
No.
See, like, look, check this out. This is for my bodybuilding clients moving weight. Just add water. Stir it like a shake. The double metaphor.
The double
entendre.
Because you can look at that like, yes, gym people. Go
yes.
to the gym.
Or
creatine.
Drug people.
Protein
but if
shakes.
you talk about drugs,
baking soda. Baking soda. Like baking soda. You know what I'm saying? That shit is hard to me.
But do you see how you go from that line and then you go from exactly that other line where all they did was just say a phrase and you've already put that in? Is the idea that I think the way that we consume information before, because we had to read, before we had to listen, we had to wait and watch the commercials. Now we don't need no commercials, and we're taking things really fast as a consumer. That's why Instagram and TikTok is a thing, because you realize that even when it comes to music, if it takes too long to get to a song, I'm going to the next track. Before, we sat there. Why? Because we paid for this album. The only time we're going to be able to listen to the hot songs that are out is on the radio after the commercial, and it's not going to give us the full album.
And they still, cut the...
They cut the track. You don't even get to hear the whole thing. So when you were able to consume music, you wanted to hear it in its entirety. Why you went to the concert was because you're able to get a different sound. But now the way that we consume music, and even the way that we process music, is just like, if we don't got a hard beat or don't got a hard hook, go somewhere else with it. We not even won't care about the story. We don't care what you're trying to tell us or anything like that.
Word.
Yeah. That's real shit though. Stop being lazy, people. Listen to your shit.
No, be great. Genius really told me that I wasn't doing shit with my life, and it made me feel really sad. So. And I'm only on episode 2, so that made me sad.
Should go.
Oh, my new dialogue again. You guys. My new dialogue is probably like my weekend. I'm going to give y'all a little TMI, but not TMI. It was that I didn't want to have children at one point in my life. I never thought about it. Didn't see how it was going to be conducive or beneficial to me. I just saw me and my spouse traveling the world being great. Maybe with Carly. If she was still alive. Shout out to her. But this week actually, I spent a lot of time with my best friend Kim. Shout out to you, and her daughter Charlie. And for the first time, in a long time, because a lot of my friends had kids, I felt comfortable. I felt like I had it. I was telling them like, go to bed. Like me and her, we cool. And before I'm like, nah, hold a baby. Just tell me when you need me to hold a baby. I don't want to hold a baby. And now it was just like, I got her. And it felt different. It showed my evolution of where like I was and how I would never thought that me and kids, I mean, Gigi loved the kids, but you got to return them back. But for the first time I was,
That's why you love the kids.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Be careful about.
Yes, no,
be
but I
sure of
understand-
your feelings.
Of course that, but I also have to understand
I'm
like
messing with you.
these children are not mine, right? So the idea I'm giving them back is a thing, but to hold a newborn, she's just a month as of tomorrow, y'all. So not even today, as of tomorrow, and just to see the connection that I even felt with her, it just made me feel in a different space. And the idea that the possibility of really having children, or at least one child, is more of a possibility for me than I ever thought. So with that being said, is like times do change, and yes, you may have an adamant thought of what you want to be or who you want to be or how you see life, but then life changes, things happen, experiences happen, and things kind of change for you. And I can say that like it's okay, because maybe even after 6 months I'd be like, you know what, it ain't for me. But the idea that the possibility of even wanting children or being in a position where I'm okay with the idea of being a mother to a child is very big for me. So that experience showed me more to me about me and where I'm at in my life than I ever thought I would. So
That's dope.
shout out to that experience.
Congratulations. Congratulations to the evolution.
Yeah, but without no man, y'all, I ain't had no kids. I ain't being no baby mama on purpose. If I have the choice, I'm not gonna do that.
You know what's funny? You will be a baby mama on purpose, even if you have a spouse.
Yes, but I would be a spouse. I would be a spouse first before I was a baby.
No,
mother.
you'll be a baby's mother first.
No, I wasn't. No, I'm not. that my thing is that like my
I'm messing
child.
with you. I'm messing with you. Before I just even go anywhere, I was messing
Okay.
with you.
But that's it. That's my new dialogue. Are we good, you guys?
I think so.
Awesome. It's been an amazing show, you guys. Thank you so much for being with us. We've enjoyed sharing our thoughts, feelings, and perspectives with you. And I hope you were able to listen and be able to have a thought about it. We want to hear from you, whether it's on Instagram or whether it's on Twitter. And with that being said, Greg is going to let us know how you can find us.
Yo. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at @JustAConvo_pod. Myself, you can follow me on Twitter at Gregisms. I will be back there in a week. It was just a sabbatical. It was good for me.
It was good for us. Twitter has been a better place since Greg hasn't been there. So.
Damn, that's mean. No, it hasn't. I wouldn't.
I feel like if I say that, it makes you even feel like more eager next week to come back.
Oh,
with
best
vengeance.
believe March 26th, y'all gonna get a fury.
That's
of
his
tweets.
birthday, y'all. I just want to let you know we're gonna have a birthday celebration for him.
Celebration.
And Mr. Rent Money, you want to let them know how they can find you?
Google me, please. Type Mr. Rent Money in your local Google search engine.
I like that.
Now,
Your local.
Yeah, and he
Google
said
search
please.
engine.
He's that energy.
I'll pop right
I don't
up.
like that energy.
You don't like that?
No.
You want him to say
I
it with
like
more confidence?
Google me, Mr. Rent Money.
Switch it up.
Do you know that there's a song called Rent Money?
For sure.
Yes.
I listened to it. You didn't make it though. It wasn't from you.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
I have my words about that.
Okay. Because I was just like, did they know you already, or did they just assume? It was a Mary J. Blige and Dave East. You know that song?
No, I actually posted it. I actually posted it on my page and put up Dr. Umar, like, you don't find that suspicious. You don't find that suspicious.
I like that. Okay, and my amazing individuals, you can find me on Twitter at GCarly7. That's GQARLY and the number 7. Follow me, y'all. Sometimes I'm active, sometimes I'm not, but there's always great content, and I follow great people that have great content. So as long as you follow me, the content will follow, and conversations will too. So tap in. And with that being said, if you forgot today, if no one told you today, if you was like, this ain't it today, I want you to remember. I I want you to always be great.
G-R.
Rent money.